bombastic side eye, criminal offensive side eye.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you my Notion Life Planner template, which I truly believe is the best one I've ever created so far, and the one that I'll be using for next year. So this is actually not the first template or life planner that I've created in Notion. I've made many planners before and ended up deleting most of them. As you can see on the screen, these are the two last versions that I've created, and unfortunately I didn't keep using them because they were simply just too much. And also I tried to copy everything like everyone else was doing, things like the 12-week year plan, a complete life planner, sleep trackers, and so many databases. And in the end, I wasn't using most of them because it required so much effort. The second planner you see here is actually better because I've been using it for months now. But even with that one, I noticed I was using a lot of features. So I kept simplifying it more and more, removing anything that felt unnecessary. And today I'm sharing the planner that I've been using for about 3 months now. So hopefully you learned something from today's video and implement at least one idea into your own planner. If you end up getting this template, the very first thing I recommend is going to the Start Here page. So this page is designed to help you enter all the informations into the databases step by step so it doesn't feel overwhelming. And you can also add all the important information first, and then you can start using the template right away, even from today. So this is the main dashboard. At the top, you'll see the mobile view. So this section is designed specifically for when you're using Notion on your phone. It gives you a quick overview of everything important for today. You'll find 4 quick access buttons, which I personally think are the most important databases in this template. And this way you can quickly enter any information that feels important. And below that, you'll see the notification sender. So this is a very extensive section that pulls information from all the databases across the entire template. Here I can quickly see today's date, my mood, my sleep tracking, and my habit count for today. I can also see my ongoing goals, projects, and tasks, as well as the book I'm currently reading. Next, I have the habit tracker. Basically, this allows me to quickly enter or change the status of the habits I've completed. So all I have to do is click on the complete button, and once I do that, the habit disappears from the list. I also have the daily planner here, along with an overview of my ongoing projects, basically everything I need to focus on today. If we go back to the main dashboard, you'll notice that there are 6 main menu sections. So this year I really wanted to add more colors and images to my template to make it feel more alive and less minimal. Here you can see the main pages of this template, which I'll go into more detail later on. We have the goal page, the habits page, the meal planner, the fitness tracker, the reflection page, and also the vision board page. On the left side, I've added a synced block. For those who are not familiar with synced blocks, this means that whatever appears here will also appear on multiple pages. If I make a change in one place, it will automatically update everywhere else. Next, I added an image, which you can easily change by clicking the 3-dot menu and selecting Replace. Below that, I added my favorite quote. I also added a flip clock widget, which I think is really cute and practical. And right below, I the navigation menu. Below that, I have weekly tasks and monthly tasks. These live inside one main task database. Weekly tasks are things you do frequently, but they're not necessarily connected to any project. Monthly tasks work the same way, but it's like tasks you do every month. At the bottom, I have what I like to call a task dump. So this is where you can quickly write down things until you figure them out. And right under that, you'll see all the databases. Next, we move on to the weekly planner. I personally think this is one of the most important pages in the entire template, along with the daily planner. So here we have the weekly planner and the daily planner. For quick access, you can create a new week by clicking this button. You can rename it something like week of December 14th to 20th, adjust the dates, and once you open the page, you'll see a pre-made template. So inside the weekly planner, you'll find section for focus areas, weekly tasks, workout routine, and a timeline view. So this timeline view shows task dependencies. So this feature in Notion means that one task cannot start until another one is completed. For example, in my case, I need to film a video before I can edit it. If I haven't filmed it yet, I don't have the material to start editing. At the end of the week, you'll find properties where you can log challenges, achievements, reflection, or even goals for the next week. Right next to the weekly planner, we have the daily planner. So when you create a new daily entry, you can enter the date, your mood for today, and also your sleep log. You can enter the time you went to sleep and the time you woke up, and the overview formula will automatically calculate your total sleep duration. So you can enter the sleep time using either the AM PM format or clock format. If I sleep at 8:20 p.m., it will still calculate everything correctly. You can also link this day to the corresponding week, which is important for organization. And just like the weekly planner, you'll find sections for priorities, tasks, and workouts. Tasks from your weekly planner would automatically populate here. You also have space for daily reflection and self-care routines. If any of these sections are not relevant to you, you can simply delete them. And if you scroll down, you'll find a monthly overview of your tasks. So this gives you a bigger picture of what's going on throughout the month. Next, we have today's workout. So once you set your weekly fitness planner or your workout routine, it automatically populates here. So every day you can clearly see what workout you're supposed to do. And what I really like about this feature is that when I enter this page, instead of using the Note app on my phone, I try to use everything inside Notion to keep all my information in one place. Next, we have habits. So once you set the habits you want to track, you can come here and simply click complete. When you do that, the habit disappears from this list and you can immediately see the changes reflected in the notification center. Next to the habits view, you'll also see a 75-day challenge. This is something I'll explain later when we go deeper into the habit page. So basically, if you want to start a challenge, you can stop tracking the habits you're currently working on and you move fully into the 75-day challenge mode. So once you finish the challenge, you can go back and track the exact same habits again. On the right side, you'll find a notification center, and I've been using this for about 2 years now, and it's honestly so good. This section acts as a summary of everything happening across all my databases, showing what I personally consider the most relevant information. So you can see today's mood. This is linked to the daily planner, and if you haven't set it yet, it will clearly tell you that today's mood hasn't been entered. The same goes for the sleep schedule. If I didn't log it, it will show that it hasn't been entered yet. I can also see today's workout, my habit tracking, ongoing goals, active projects, and tasks, either for today or for the current month, as well as the book that I'm currently reading. If we scroll down a bit, we will find the goals section. So here I just want to show the goals I'm actively focusing on right now. These are my current priorities, and you can also see all the goals you're actively taking action on. Next, we have the projects overview, the task manager, and a timeline view of my tasks. If you want a more detailed explanation of these databases, I already made a full video about my task management system to keep this video from being too long. So I link that video here if you want to understand exactly how the system works. It's the same setup, just organized in a different way. Next up, we have the goals page. So this is where you really plan out your year, in this case 2026. At the top, you can see a menu bar with a button that takes you back to the main dashboard. Right next to it, you will find a navigation menu that allows you to move easily between the other pages inside this template. So the first thing you'll notice on this page is the 4 main columns. So these are designed to help you plan your year in a very clear and intentional way. So the first column is what is my life vision. Basically, here you can add a short paragraph or even bullet points. This is where you define how you want your life to look and feel. The second prompt is what are my non-negotiables? These are the things you refuse to compromise on. They can be boundaries, values. For me, this is where I remind myself to say no and choose what truly aligns with me. The third prompt is what do I want to change? So this is where you reflect on what isn't working anymore in order to move closer to your goals. And the last prompt is what do I want to focus on? So here you define your main focus areas for 2026. For me, I chose 4 focus points. So these are fitness, side hustle, career, and spirituality. On this page, you'll notice that I kept the same sidebar as the main dashboard. So this is the synced block I mentioned earlier. I also added a vision and or inspiration board here. Personally, I like using Pinterest. I can easily replace it with a different board or even just a single image. So here I have 3 databases that are connected together. The first one is the Life Buckets database. So these are the main areas of life I'm focusing on. You can easily add more or change them as you evolve, but for me, these categories work really well. Each life bucket shows how many goals are linked to it. This is done using a formula that automatically counts the numbers of goals connected to each specific life area. Next, we have the main goal database. So here you might notice that there's a 2025 view here. That's because I've created this template around October. Once 2026 starts, I'll delete that view. So here you can see different views of your goal database. Priorities, in progress, goals that you've already started working on, and completed ones, so goals you've already achieved. When you create a new goal or open an existing one, you'll see several properties you can fill out. So you can set the status, whether it's started, not started, or in progress. You can also set the priority level as high, medium, or low. You can add a due date if the goal has a deadline, for example, completing it by the end of January. If the goal is measurable, you can track your progress using the metric property. For example, if your goal is to complete 100 push-ups and you've only done 10 so far, you can enter that number here and update it as you progress. You can also link the goal to a specific quarter. If a goal spans multiple quarters, you can adjust that as well. Each goal can be linked to a life bucket. I also included a pre-made templates with prompts inside that helps you clearly define what your vision is, outline your action plan, and link related projects. And you can also attach files like PDFs or any relevant resources directly to the goal. At the bottom of this page, I added a wishlist database. So this is where I track things like I wanna buy in the future. You can add prices, links, status, and you can add more categories if you want and customize them depending on your needs. So next we have the vision board page. Here I created 2026 dream sections. So the layout is made of 4 columns given like Pinterest style vibes. I really like this format because it allows me to mix images, quotes, and affirmation freely. So to add content, you can simply click on the add button and choose whether you want to add an image, write a quote, and if you're adding an image, you can delete the quote block and upload your image. You can also add new dreams to the list. Each dream gets its own number, making it easy to expand the list over time, and you can adjust that as well. I also included a section for affirmation. You can write it down here and later on move it directly onto your vision board. Now we're moving on to the habits page. So this is where things get really interesting, and I'm honestly very proud of this page page. So this year I've become much more intentional about habit tracking. I can access this page in two ways. Either I click on habits from the navigation menu inside any page, or I can click directly on the habits image from the main dashboard. At the top, I have a button that allows me to create a new habit. On the left side, there's the same sidebar layout. Below that, I have a habit summary section. I personally love tracking data, so this is very important to me because I don't naturally have a strong sense of time, and having everything visually represented really helps me stay aware of my progress. So here you can see all the active habits at a glance. Right now I have 5 active habits, but this number will automatically change as I add or remove habits. So let's say I want to create a new habit. I click on the button. For example, I add to my morning habits and set the frequency to daily. I'll enter the start date, and once I do that, you'll notice that a new entry will appear in the habit tracker database. At the same time, the formulas in the summary section updates instantly. Just below, they have a life progress bar, and this is actually an idea that came from one of you guys. So instead of tracking time and life progress only by year, month, or week, this progress bar focuses on what really matters, which is our habits. So it tracks how many times we're supposed to complete a habit over the entire year, the current month, and the current week. So we can now see how our daily actions are adding up throughout the whole year. So huge thanks to this kind user for suggesting this idea. Now let's talk about the habit tracker itself. So here you find different views: active habits and canceled habits. If you stop doing a habit, you can open the page and click cancel. This automatically records the date you canceled it and changes its status. So canceled habits move into a separate view, so they are no longer tracked, but all your past data is still saved. If you ever want to restart the habit, you can simply change its status from cancelled back to active. Once you create a habit, there are a few things you need to fill out. For example, let's say I want to wake up tomorrow at 7 a.m. and then I set how many times I want to complete this habit per week, for example 7 times, and how many times per month, like 30 times. I also choose the habit category such as morning routine and set the frequency to daily. I can also choose a priority level. If it's something very important, I'll set it to high priority. Once everything is set, the progress formula starts working automatically. You can see whether the habit was completed today, your current streak, your visual weekly and monthly progress bars. For example, here you can see that I woke up at 9 a.m. yesterday and it shows 1 day straight. If you scroll down, you'll see the monthly tracker section. So this is a visual tracker where you can choose the color, change the time period from monthly to quarterly, and switch between simple or pixel style view. You can clearly see the difference between habits, which makes progress very easy to understand. At the bottom of the page, you'll find habit records. This section shows a weekly calendar view. Every time you complete a habit, it appears here automatically. For example, if I complete all my morning habits today, you'll see today's status change from pending to completed. And if you scroll down, you'll notice that a new habit record entries are created. Now let's move on to the 75-day challenge. So to start the challenge, you simply click in the button Start New Challenge. And when you do this, all your active habits are automatically canceled. This does not affect your overall progress, monthly tracker, or yearly data. Instead, a new section appears in the today's summary for the 75-day challenge. Once the challenge starts, this becomes your new habit tracker. You open the challenge page and choose your level, so soft, medium, or hard. And for example, if I choose medium, this becomes day 1. And for the medium challenge, I only track 1 workout instead of 2. Diet consistency, water intake, reading, and progress photos. If I switch to hard, the system automatically adjusts and requires 2 workouts instead of 1. So each time you complete a task, you check it off. Progress bar only updates when all required actions are completed for today. You can see the challenge progress both on this page and in the summary section. And also if you go back to the main dashboard, you'll see that everything updates there as well in the notification center database. So in this view, you can either manually create a new page each day, or you can automate this process. So to do that, you go into the template settings, enable the repeat option, and set it to repeat daily for 75 runs. So once it reaches day 75, it automatically stops creating new pages. And once you finish the 75-day challenge, it stops tracking automatically. And at this point, you can go back and reactivate your old habits, and everything continues exactly where you left off. We're moving on to the meal planner. So I've already made a full detailed video about this system that you can check out right here. So I highly recommend watching that video. The main thing I added to this meal planner, however, is the extra section. This is for the items that don't really fit into traditional categories, that aren't basically part of your regular meal. In the shopping section, you'll find 3 different shopping lists. The first one is for meal prep groceries, the second one is for household items, and the third one is for extras such as snacks or treats. And to use the meal planner, all you need to do is create a new page in the weekly meal planner database. Then you link recipes for breakfast, lunch, snacks, and dinner. So once you do that, all the ingredients you need are automatically pulled together into your shopping list. If you're tracking calories, you only need to enter them once inside the recipe database, and after that the count is calculated automatically every time you use that recipe. So once all of your recipes are added for the week, your meal prep shopping list is generated for you. I go into much more detail about this in the meal planner video. Let's move on to the fitness track. As you can see, this page follows the same layout as the others. We have the synced sidebar on the left and the notation center, where you can quickly see your mood, your sleep schedule, today's workout, and the muscle targeted in that workout. And below that, there's a filter goals view that shows only the goals related to the fitness life bucket. Next, we have the progress log, where you can track things like your weight and body measurements, such as waist, hips, chests. In the middle section, you'll see all the workouts categories. You can always add additional categories if you want, and each category has an overview formula that shows how many exercises are linked to workout routine and how many videos you have saved in that category. Next, we have the weekly workout routine. So this is where you plan the workouts for the week. Let's say today is Thursday and I want to add a new workout. I create a new workout and name it something like upper body workout. I can add the duration, for example 45 minutes, and choose the location. I can also select the intensity level and add calories burned. Since this is an upper body workout, I'll add exercises like a lat pull down, bicep curls, and more. I already have a pre-made workout template inside. I can see the exercise, the equipment needed inside the database, also the sets and reps for each exercise and the rest. And if you choose to follow a YouTube video or workout video online, you can link it through the video library. I can also add a warm-up video, the main workout, and even end with a stretching or recovery video. So next we have the running log. If I plan to run on Sundays, for example, I can add a running workout and set the duration, location, intensity, and then link it to the new running log. Once I complete the run, I can enter details like distance and time and link it back to the workout routine. The video library stores all your saved YouTube workouts video in one place. You can quickly access your favorite workouts and link them to your routine. And I explain how to do this using a Chrome Notion extension in another video, which I also link for you. Then we have the exercise database, where you'll find all individual exercises. They're grouped by category, so calisthenics, strength training, yoga, etc. And you can add as many exercises as you want and build custom workout routines based on this database. Next up, we have the book tracker page. So this allows you to track all the books you want to read throughout the year. You can add quickly entries, authors, and quotes. At the top, you can see a widget showing how many books you've read so far, and you also see books you're currently reading, books you want to read next up, and books you already own. And there's also a quote database where you can save your favorite quotes from the books you've read. Now we're moving on to the reflection page. You might notice that this page follows the same structure as the goals page. This allows you to summarize and reflect on how the year actually went briefly. In the middle section, you'll see all the goals that were in progress during the year. This helps you quickly review whether you actually worked on your goals you set at the beginning of the year. You will also see a best memory section linked to the journal database where you mark a journal entry as a favorite memory, and it will automatically appear here. Below that, you'll find the monthly reviews and the yearly review database. Each monthly review has a pre-made template with reflection prompts. You can follow the prompts or delete everything and write freely. You can log your mood, highlights, gratitude, and challenges for each month. The yearly review allows you to link all the monthly reviews from that year. For example, in 2026, I'll be able to link all 12 monthly reflection into one place. Next up, on the right side, we have the notification center, which acts as a yearly summary. Here, I can find the date and the time, my average mood for the year, and how many workouts I have completed, but also how many books I've read and my overall yearly habit progress. I can also see my top 3 habits for the year, such as drinking water, completing my night routine, and also waking up at 9 a.m. Last but not least, we have the resource page. This is where I track my TV shows, movies, podcasts, courses, article, and more. There's an inbox section where I quickly drop things before organizing them. If I scroll down, you'll find a databases about my currently watching shows, my ongoing shows, but also the movies and series that are coming out this year, and a full archive of everything that I've ever watched. And I can filter by favorite, movies only, TV shows, or see everything together. So that's it, guys. I really hope this template either inspires you to build your own system or helps you stay organized and intentional for next year. If you are interested in getting this template, you'll find a link in the description below. I didn't include the budget planner here because I've already created a separate one. I don't want to mix everything together. And if you're looking for budget planner, I'll link that video for you as well. So thank you for watching, and if there are any tutorial you'd like to see next, leave them in the comments below. Bye!